was amazing because it's always better when you do something for the first time. It's always more real and more honest and more exact.
Hey Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. You're looking much better and doing much better than last I saw you in a movie, that's for sure. You're out of the
That's a good
cave and
compliment.
yes, you're out of the cave. You're functioning perfectly. Wow.
Yeah, in the modern world.
Yes, I know. It's almost like bizarre to see after what I saw in the film. I'm telling you that was quite the shocking kind of start to the movie when I saw it. I'm curious, like, did you envision this in the script when you were reading it, that, like you'd be trapped in a cave, basically, the first time we were introduced to your character, and you got these like scary kind of like teeth and everything, it was just.
I had my own imagination how everything would look, and of course I had some ideas in my head while creating the film in my head. Some things looked exactly how I imagined. Some looked like completely out of my mind. You cannot imagine better than what it was. Let's say the cave. When I entered the first time there, like, it's crazy watching it through screen, but
Yeah.
when there, like, real time, that's super massive thing where you like lose yourself. It was amazing. So I was pretty surprised by some locations and how everything looked.
Wow, so it was a real cave, right? This wasn't like made up or anything. It was a real actual cave.
No. It's set up in Serbia, and it's near Pirot. It's called like on a mountain, Planina, or Old Mountain. Sorry. So it's actually cave. I know that they were searching for a monastery for that, but when they saw the cave, like, you cannot find anything better than the cave. It was amazing.
Yeah, wow, it looked amazing on camera, so I can only imagine just being in that thing. That's something you can't replicate. I'm curious, like, was it difficult for you to like basically not talk throughout the movie? Like, so much of the movies, like, your facial expression, they're so good too. Like, you're telling the story of this character and yourself through just like reactions and facial expressions and just sounds, not language spoken, just sounds. How difficult was that for you to portray? Because it was all in your face, literally, when you watch that performance.
Well, it was certainly a challenging thing to do, to express yourself, but we did the voiceover before we started filming the movie, which was, for me at the beginning, weird, because I didn't know how you're gonna fit everything, to act it first, the words, and then the atmosphere. But that part really helped us because it led us through the motion we had during the scenes. So that was really helpful. And also with Goran, we did many improvisations, since the character is viewed, and especially my part, there are not a lot of other actors. He was leading me while filming, he was speaking to me, and it was real time happening sometimes.
Mm.
A direct reaction, my reaction of his words. And that's how we started working. And that was amazing because it's always better when you do something for the first time. It's always more real and more honest and more exact.
Yeah, it was just like, I haven't seen a character, like, it felt like she was like half animal, half like caveman, in so many ways. It's like, it's crazy to try to figure out how to reenact that, especially in a modern world. What was the set like? Because, like, obviously takes place, in the Balkan region, which is still like you said, there's caves, there's everything. It kind of gives you that old world feel and look to it. Did that help you character wise, kind of being in that world and that setting too, to make it seem like it was the old world?
Of course, the place, the village where we were shooting, I mean, in that place, there was there were houses left, like literally from 19th century, even from before that. So when you enter that place, you literally enter like 19th centuries, because many people has been moved from there, of course, went to the bigger places and so on. So many of the houses remained exactly like they were back then. So that really, of course, help you to get into the atmosphere. But also, of course, we did a lot of research before that about the mythology, about how the people lived back then, and that was also helpful for part of the process.
Interesting. Wow. The thing is also like you're the original character. You kind of start everything out, but your character takes a lot of different shapes and different actors playing it. Did you have conversations with the other actresses like Numi? And there's a few of them. I mean, there's 5 or 6 actors that end up playing this character and role. Did you kind of all discuss this together, or everyone did things individually? I'm kind of curious how you literally pass along your roles to the next one.
Yeah, well, I think it's not possible to do this individually, because I mean, we shared one role. We had to be on the same page. So of course we discussed about it. There were actors coming, going, and discussing like separately, never all together, but creating the same character. So, and also the most difficult part is that it's not only creating the same character, but the character develops and transforms. And you also have to remain in the same character, but also transform. So that's a pretty ambitious thing to do.
Yeah.
Goran led us, I think, very good. So that's how we all made it.
Yeah, that's difficult to kind of try to keep the spirit of the character, but in different actors,
Yes.
You spent a lot of time with Anna Maria, and I found her so scary looking in this film, because like she's like but she looks like Freddy Krueger in that film. Like, what was it like in person? I mean, the makeup and the everything that she had to go through, her prosthetics look amazing, because it looks like literally like a unhuman but burned victim. What was it like? I can only imagine you doing scenes together. Did you sometimes like look twice at her, because she's right there for you, right next to you?
Well, it was scary. The first time I saw her, I never imagined that it's going to be like that. I mean, it was super scary, but not as scary as for me than for the children that were on set.
Oh,
I
yeah, that's right.
people hiding Anna Maria from the children that are playing in the film, because if they see her, they're not gonna they're not gonna play it anymore. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing how Anna Maria played with that costume. She made it her like her own, like real skin. It's really difficult. It was difficult for her to play with all of that, and it was amazing how she did it. And for me, of course, in a time I got used to it. And because, as my character, nothing is weird for her, because she's for the first time outside of the world. She doesn't know if this is a normal thing or not. So I try to see it also, me personally, like a same thing.
Wow, that's amazing. I can just imagine that in person or just watching, because every time she shows up on a screen, it's like, wow, you pay attention to it and notice. I'm interested. So this film is kindly set in Macedonia. You're from Macedonia originally. Tell me about that. Like, we don't see a lot of movies just even being set in Macedonia, the story wise. How did it feel for you being from there to have a movie kind of being represented in that, in that way? And also, I don't know if you shot any scenes in Macedonia. You mentioned Serbia, but this is your region, this is a place you're familiar with. We don't see that many places like that, especially mainstream movies that are now going to be seen around the world like this.
Well, yes, the film was shot in Serbia, but very near to the border with Macedonia. So it's pretty similar architecturally, I say, in the old times. So yeah, well, Goran is from Macedonia, the director. So he really has this connection with his life while living in Macedonia, and he still makes stories that are set in Macedonia. And I kind of, for some things, helped him in a way of the research, and not only him, but more to the costume, to the makeup, and to kind of to give them some materials of how the people looked like, how they act, how they express themselves, and so on and so on. So for me, it's very close, you know. Some of the stuff is just very normal for me, that other people found it very interesting and new and exotic at times, you know. It's more, I think, the question to the other people: how did you how did you kind of saw the cultural shock there than me? For me, it's normal, really.
Yeah, this is your home base. I'm curious, you kind of have a Polish last name. Do you have any Polish ancestry, or?
No.
No?
But we have like same base language, the
Yeah.
Slavic. Yeah.
It is a Slavic. Yep. I was curious. You know, I've been to your part of the world, by the way. My father is originally from Kosovo. So it's, you know, that part of the world by you. So I'm familiar. I've spent some summers there. And I know one thing about Macedonia. It has the best olives I think you can find. Like olives in Montenegro, Macedonia. That's like the place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Montenegro more than Macedonia, because Montenegro is still on the seaside. But anyway, and nice that you're from Kosovo. Right now, we had Kosovo had an amazing film, Hive. Then maybe you watched it. If you didn't,
I've heard of it. I have not watched it, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so I that's a really nice place of the world. I think that people, you know, are exploring more and more now, but like you said, it's really amazing. I've been around those parts, and I think it's cool to see it in film. All those things described, you know, it's like it's an old world that's still existing today, you know, with all that nature and stuff. So great job. Really awesome work. I thought you were phenomenal. You told the story so well through your expressions, and I hope to see more of you in a lot more films. So let's make this happen.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sara. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.